Hello everybody, what's going on? It's Crowdor here, keeping it tanky in Raid Shadow Legends, and I am going to be talking about relics today. We've got some to craft, but I'm also going to be talking about which relics are the best and worst in each rarity, in my opinion. Starting off with the mythicals. Now, I don't know about you, I don't have a mythical relic, but I am going to go through here and look real quick here and take a guess at which ones are going to be. All right, I have settled on for the worst mythical relic in the game. We're going to go with the Volcardiac Heart. There it is. I just think this is kind of a lackluster relic as far as mythical ones go. If this was like a legendary or an epic, sure, it'd be great. But for a mythical, I think the stats are lackluster and the effect is lackluster. What does it do? Listen up, guys. You can get Elenaril for free, as well as Fayne, Uugo, and Tagoar as you level up. Just click my link in the description. Here's the steps to go about getting yours. Log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. This will not work on mobile unless you are downloading it for the first time. Click the link in the description and register with a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial. Go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get Elenaril for free, as well as 3 free epics. Just click my link in the description and enjoy this wonderful start to Raid. Wearer places a 10% magma shield buff on all allies for 2 turns at the start of the battle. So it's a shield set. Also places a 10% magma shield buff on the wearer for 2 turns whenever they lose 25% of their HP in a single hit. Kind of like a Necret passive. The shield's strength doubles if you max it out, so it becomes a 20% shield. Yeah, I think it's just kind of bad. I'm pretty sure the magma shield like reflects damage taken or something like that, but come on, really? Out of all the mythicals, I think this one is the worst. Moving on to the best mythical relic, I think it's got to go to the Hallowed Hilt. It's just got the most potential out of any of the mythical relics, in my opinion. I think this could go on literally anyone, and it's great. What does it do? Whenever the wearer heals an ally with an active skill, never mind, it only goes on healers. Okay, the best mythical relic is going to be, in my opinion, the Stormcaller, due to the fact that it still carries speed, so that is good. And then it also buffs nuker stats, so it could, in theory, go on anyone if you max it out. Which, I mean, if you've got a mythical relic, why the heck are you not maxing that sucker out? What does it do? Wearer has a 20% chance of placing a Stormcall buff on themselves whenever they land a critical hit. This goes up to a 100% chance for those who hate doing math. What does Stormcall do, you may ask, that would make it such a potent ability? Well, let me tell you. We'll find it here in a second. Sometime before I get old, please. Oh, Magma Heart, or Magma Shield. Stormcall! Each Stormcall stack increases the damage dealt by a champion by 5%. A champion can have a maximum of 5 Stormcall stacks at one time. When attacking with 5 Stormcall stacks, places a stun debuff on the target and removes all Stormcall stacks. The stun cannot be resisted. Literally, you are giving anyone in the game Thor's pass. You ramp damage, then when you hit a certain point, you dump damage and place a stun. What's not to love? I think that's a no-brainer. Easy best one. Shout out to the whatchamacallit over here, the Chrono Cube, for the whole 2 turns thing. But I'm gonna, especially for consistency's sake, I'm gonna give it to the Stormcaller. Moving right along to the legendary relics. What do we have for the worst? Ew. 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 For the worst legendary relic in the game, we are going to go with the Collective here, which sucks because it's from the new Faction Wars groups, which you would hope would be good considering how hard they are to get. What does it do? Well, it gives you about the same stats as the Stormcaller, but the effect is garbage. Wearer deals 1% more damage per buff on them, which means you can get to a whopping 10% damage. 2 Stormcall stack. Removes all buffs from the wearer at the end of each turn. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know any champions that benefit from losing their buffs. That's just bad. And quite frankly, dumb. Bad relic. I would consider using this as fodder. outside of this being a stat stick. I will be honest. Okay, best legendary relic has to go to... I'm going to give it to the Cat's Gaze. Cat's Gaze is just such a good relic. It can go on any nuker. Well, any one, really, but it'll be best on your nukers. And because you can't get them anymore, actually, that kind of defeats the purpose. Well, no, I will stand by my statement. Cat's Gaze, where it ignores 10% of the target's defense when attacking enemies with higher max HP. That goes clear up to 20%. Ignore defense. Now, ignore defense is not a hard thing to get anymore because most champions that they're releasing now that are supposed to do damage have a way of doing so. But there are old champs like our good old buddy that we did a video on recently, Mashald, who could absolutely benefit from 10 to 20 extra ignore damage. 10 to 20% ignore defense. Thank you. Okay, moving on to the epics. Worst epic relic in the game. Infernosphere. Infernosphere is just bad. It gives you a crap ton of resistance. When do you need a crap ton of resistance? Never, because it's better to build yourself with just enough resistance for PvE and say screw it in PvP because you are not going to have more resistance than that Armons is going to have accuracy. So don't fool around with it. It's bad. You get, what does it do? Wearer's resistance increases by 2% for every 5% HP loss. Congratulations, you can ignore a whopping 20%. You can have an extra 20% resistance at half health. You're already going to be dead at that point. The max resistance cap, not how quickly it stacks, the max resistance cap goes up by an additional 10. So when you are 3/4 of the way to meeting your doom 6 feet under, you get some extra resistance. It's not even a flat amount. Gosh, it's ridiculous. Horrible relic, arguably food. Arguably food. One exception being champions like Crixia and I think Galathier, who swap resistance for other stats. Big whoop-de-doo. Okay. Best epic relic. Easy. Rarity Coronet. Anybody who places a debuff and does any modicum of damage gets this relic. Period. Full stop. End of discussion. Rarity Coronet is basically a second copy of Nature's Wrath Blessing on the champion all over again. Wearer's damage increases by 1% each time they place a debuff, stacks up to 30%. The damage goes up to 6% each time they place a debuff, so you just ramp it quicker. Instead of having to place 30 debuffs, suddenly you only need to place 5. Then you are benefiting from the ramp damage from then on. It's a fantastic relic. It causes absolute metric tons of a damage increase on some of the best damage dealers in the game, such as Ninja, Thor, the mythicals that place debuffs, Trunda for crying out loud with her burns. You name it, it'll help. All right, moving on to the final rarity, the rares. Worst rare relic in the game. This is going to be a hard one. I'm not even going to fool with you because most of them are trash. So you know what? Well, oh, ew. Okay, I think I might have found it. I think I found it. The Sinner's Cloak. Look at this thing. Rarer receives 1% defense for each 15% HP missing. Stacks up to 75% missing HP. Wow, you get a whopping 5% defense for being practically in the grave. Horrible stats. I mean, the HP is okay at the start, but defense and resistance, garbage. And then you get an extra, so you get 6%. Up to 36% defense. I mean, unless you're going through some kind of an unkillable team, who's going to need that? Nobody. That's the correct answer. So there you go. Sinner's Cloak, I'm giving it to as the worst relic. Now, I am going to give an honorable mention here for the best rare relic being the Arachnelixir. This relic has single-handedly changed the game and the way people play PvP. It's insane. Wearer's poison debuffs deal bonus damage equal to 50% of the wearer's attack. That goes up to 150% of the wearer's attack as bonus damage for each poison. That's nuts. You throw that on like a Calvalax, he's placing 4 poisons. He's going to be having a bunch of attack because he's a nuker. Everything just dies. Throw him in PvP. Well, I'm sure you've witnessed this if you're unfortunate enough to not know about it yet. But you take this into PvP, because then you can stack lethal dose on top of it, getting even more damage from your poison. It's busted, but thankfully, it's only relegated to a handful of champions that can make a bunch of use from this. Plus, there's also Polymorph. I never thought I would be happy to have Polymorph in the game, but this relic makes me consider it. But for the best rare relic in the game, it is going to go to the Journal of Necrotos. If you heal or boost turn meter, which that covers like, I don't know, probably at least 75% of the champions in this game in one way or another, you get a crap ton of extra. The wearer's heals and turn meter increase effects applied to allies are boosted by 15 up to 30%. For example, Arbiter on her A3 boosts turn meter by 30%. You give her a maxed out one of these, suddenly it's a 40% turn meter boost. It's crazy. It's good. Anyone who heals or boosts turn meter wants this relic, unless they have some niche that would make them more viable to another, I don't know, random thing. All right, that is going to be my thoughts on the best and worst relics for each rarity. Now, for the fun stuff, here at the end, we get to craft 2 relics, one of these rares, and then one of the legendary Chaos Awakens relics. Can we get something good? Got a demonic effigy. I mean, it gives speed once it's rolled up, so that's not horrible. Whereas turn meter increases by 10% when one of their allies dies. So it's good on any reviver, essentially. I'm not going to complain about it, but I'm not going to be happy about it either. Here we go. 39.5% chance at a legendary relic. Is this a joke to you, Plarium? Is this a joke? I'm flabbergasted. I'm on the verge of angry. So much so, Plarium, you and I are having problems. It's no wonder the game's doing bad when you treat your players like this. It's no wonder at all. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys craft better relics than I do. I've still never crafted anything above an epic. Go figure, I guess. Say screw you to the content creator, I guess. Guys, I will catch y'all in the future videos. Stay happy and healthy, and stay tanky.